Hello everybody. Today we are going to learn a minimal JavaScript required to start learning reactjs. Okay, so reactjs is a library of JavaScript. So to begin React, we just need to learn a basics about JavaScript. So I'm giving a minimal requirement of JavaScript in this video. Okay, if you want to look further into the article, then you can watch it over this Medium article. Okay, so let's begin. I'm using this VS Code to teach you about this. So let's see. This is of my previous one. So CLS. Okay. So it will be easy for you to understand. I do have my node included in this device, so it is easy for me to run this JavaScript file. Okay. So I have created a index.js file, so I'm going to do everything inside this file. So to begin with, I'm going to just begin with the variables and constants. Okay, variables are just like the containers, okay, where we are going to hold data. Okay, they are containers. So variables are something like containers which can change their value over time. That means if I am getting a glass of cow milk, then I can get another uh, packet milk in my process. Okay, so that is like it will change the value over time. So that is variables, and if the value is going to remain same for all the process, then we are using constants. Okay, so to define variable, there are two types of variables. Okay, that will be one will be using late variable one is equals to and then another will be variable 2 is equals to hello. So here variable 1 and variable 2. Okay, so we are using late keyword and var keyword. So I'm going to give you further information later, but just remember that late is used to define any variable inside a particular scope, whereas var is used to define the variable outside the scope. Okay, so another will be constant. Okay, so for constant we are going to use const keyword, then that will be like value of pi 3.14. So this is it. So I do have a convention of keeping semicolons, so it is not required. Okay, in particular case it's not required in any case in JavaScript. So I do have a convention of keeping those. That's my convention. Okay, so this is it for the short description of containers and constants and variables. Now I'm going to give you a short example of how to create functions. Okay, in traditional way we are going to use functions like this, using a keyword, then the name of the function, and then the parenthesis, and then the scope. Okay, so this will be like the traditional traditional way of creating function. Okay, so let's call this thread. So I'm going to use node index.js, okay, to check this. So this is a traditional way of creating functions. Okay, function, why are we using function are just a combination of similar codes used to attain a ultimate similar goal. Okay, so just like a function called add. Okay, so it is going to add two numbers and print it console.log 10 plus 10 plus 20. Okay, so I'm going to now call add function, and that will be okay, traditional way 30. That's it. Okay. uh, but nowadays we do work in a components. So components is also a type of method. It is also a type of method which returns certain HTML values or something, anything, something like that in reactjs. Okay, so for working with the components, it is best to use modern way or arrow functions. Okay, so arrow function is introduced in ES6 uh, after the ESCMA script in 2015 is released. So it is same as the traditional function, but there are some keywords. Just like we are not using function, instead of function we are using constant keyword. Then let's say modern, that will be the name of the function, then is equals to, then the parenthesis. Okay, then is equals to again, then greater than symbol, then the curly braces. So anything inside the curly braces will be same as the old traditional modern array arrow function. Okay, so nothing much. So this is only the convention to be followed, because we will be using as a component. So rather than the old traditional way, we will be using the modern arrow functions in javascript. Okay, in reactjs. So after learning about how to create traditional function and modern function, let's see the difference between this let and var. Okay, so what is the difference between let and var? So let's make a statement. Okay, if statement, if say, let's, it will be always true. Let's say one is equals to one, nothing much. So if one is equals to one, then let's say let value of, let's say num1. Okay, num1 is equals to 10, and let sorry, var num2 is equals to 20. Okay, let's print this console.log inside if scope. Okay, so this is inside this if scope. This is scope. Okay, scope means the data inside a particular opening and closing curly braces. Okay, so if I want to console.log num1, and then console.log num2. Okay, so I'll just copy this code from this inside if scope to the num, and then sorry, C control V, and this will be outside. I'll using num2 first, then num1. Okay, so let's run this code. So here will be an error. Okay, so let's see another, this traditional way, and this study is from before. This study add. Okay, study is here, this is printed. Then let's say inside if scope, the value of num1 is 10 and the value of num2 is 20. That's okay, and it comes outside of this if scope. Okay, then it says value of num1 is num2 is 20, but when it tries to console log the num1, then it says num1 is not defined. So as you know the difference between let and var. So let is defined only for a particular scope, whereas var is defined for a particular function or a particular class. Okay, so when we define a var inside this is a particular scope, then inside this particular method, then it says okay, even if I am inside any other scope, I will be of this method, or and I am will be of this class. Okay, so that will be something like that. So where is like a global variable and let is like a scoped local variable. Okay, so just learn a little about this. In further process you will learn about all of those. Don't worry about those, just this is an introduction. Okay, so this is it, and I have also told you about the components. Okay, so let's see. I'll sort. Okay, let's say this will be constant component example. So we'll be using something like this in React. Okay, so return, let's say adds one hello tag. Okay, so we'll be using something like this, and then we'll be use something like this in javascript of React. Okay, so this is like component we'll be using. So something like this will be used in your React code most often. Okay, so I won't do anything with this component example because it will give us an error because while working in simple JavaScript. Okay, so it will be okay when we use it in reactjs. So while working, we most of the time we don't work in a single value, so we work in arrays. Okay, so arrays or objects. So what is an array? So array is the collection of multiple similar type of data. Okay, whereas object is a key value pair data. So let's say let array example is equals to, so array is defined by opening a big bracket and closing big bracket. Here we will define the value 4 5 6. Okay, so let's remove all of this and just console.log array example. Okay, so array holds data in form of 0 to 0th index. Okay, 0 to n minus 1 index, means 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so another will be like objects. Object is a key value pair. So key value pair means let's say const object example. So object will be defined with like curly braces. Okay, so inside the curly braces, the first value will be its key, and colon is used, and then value will be stored. Okay, key value pair, just like name, so okay. Okay, nothing much. Okay, but over here we can use this array and objects in different ways. Just like if I want to access this 2, I will use bracket and 1 index. Okay, but if I want to get this value, I will use either dot key or either dot name for name, and I will use dot key for key. Just print this. Okay, it will get 2 as an index, and in object I will be using the name of the key. Okay, to get the value. So this is a simple example of array and objects. Okay, So while working in arrays and objects, you must learn a little about how to remove or how to add arrays, data in arrays. Okay, so let's see. Let's remove this one and let's comment this. Okay, we'll be working in array first. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So if I want to add something in an array, I'll be using push function. Okay, I'll be using push function. So just say array example dot push. Okay, so I'll be giving a value like just like say, let's say 7. Okay, so if I can print this, then it will say 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, let's console this log just after the array and then another. Okay, so it was like 1 2 3 5 6 and then another will be like 1 2 3 5 6 7. But if I want to add this 4 over here, then I can simply add it using index. Okay, so that will be like array example and then 0 1 2 3, that will be the third index is equals to value will be 4. Okay, so that will be 1 2 3 5 6 7. So we have lost 5. Okay, when we use push, it is going to add the value, but when we are using index, it will going to replace the value. Okay, so we can also use something like push 4,7. Okay, it is like pushing two values. And another we are going to do is how to delete data from the array. So to delete data, we will using array example dot remove, or let's say pop, array example dot pop. So it is going to remove the last value and take the value to itself. Okay, for a while. So let's say 1 2 3 and then 5. So this is like easy way to remove the last letter, or you can also use shift. Okay, shift is going to remove the first letter. Let's say last letter, last item. Okay, last item is equals to let's say let last item is to this and let first item is equals to array dot shift. Okay, console.log last item, console.log first item. Okay, let's run this. So here, as I have said, pop will return the last item value and shift will return the first item value, then 2 3 5 and 6. So also we can use on shift to add the let's say array example dot on shift. Okay, let's print this. So that will be 1 2 3 5 6, nothing much. Then 6 and 1 is removed, but as you know, 1 is over here only. Why? Because on shift is going to add the value at the first. Let's say if I want to add 0 in the first. Okay, so it will add 0 in the first value. Okay, unshift is used to add data at the first. Pop is used to, okay, shift is used to remove data from first. Then pop is used to remove data from the last. And also we use index to add data. Okay, this is a simple way to add and remove data from any arrays. So this is it, and it is really easy to work with the work with the this objects. Okay, my mouse is literally not working fine. Let's just track that. Okay, so to easily add any value, I'll just use object example dot name is equals to new name. Okay, then console dot log object example. So I'm going to print this before adding the name, and then okay. So as you can see, the name of the value of the name has been changed. Okay, this is when you try to give any new value to the existing old key. But if you want to give anything new, it's like if you want to add something like new key, anything new key, then we can just simply write it, add like this. Okay, so this will give a new key value here. Okay, so to remove we will use delete keyword. Okay, so I'll just simply write delete let's say object example dot. Okay, so it is going to delete the value. Okay, key value is removed from here and new key value is added over here. Okay, this is a simple understanding of the objects. Okay, so after you learn about those, it will be really easy for you to understand the working adding and removing mechanism of array and objects. So, but here in while working with React, we will be passing our data of of an array to another array, or when we are changing data of the same array, we have to use something like spread operators. So spread operators are used to share data. Okay, or to store our previous data. Let's see with the example. Okay, example 2. So if I want to get example total of this example 1 and example 2, I'll use spread operator. Let array example 3 is equals to dot 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 array example and dot 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 array example 2. Let's say I'll be writing like 6 7 8 and let's say 9. Okay, so I will be using spread operator to get all the data of example 1 and all the data of example 2 and store it in the new array example 3. Let's say console.log example 3. Okay, so let's print. Okay, see here, that will be 1 2 3 4 5 is from array example 1, and then 7 8 9 is from array example 2. So spread operator is used to store or manipulate the data of any previously stored array. Same goes for the objects too. We can use objects like object example 1 and object example, let's say 2. So here will be like age is like stream, and let's say time, let's say it will be 5:17 for now, 2023. Okay. Date, let's say date. So if I want to store these two data in one value, one data, one variable, that will be like let object example 3 is equals to, so I'll be using curly braces, then I will be doing same as in array, triple dot, that will be called spread operator example, and triple dot, and that will be object example 2. Okay, so let's print this object example 3 dot log object example 3. So here key, name, age, and date, all of these values are available to example 3. So we can easily manipulate, we can easily also manipulate the data of any key, just like if I want to manipulate the name, key of the key value pair. Okay, key, okay, new value, I can simply change the value of key using the key and the value here after doing this spread operators. Okay, so let's see. So here is a new value. Okay, so it is easier for us to understand and use objects and these arrays in React when we know about spread operators. Okay, so also in React, we most of the time we destructure any classes. Destructure means getting a particular class before using it. It's like in this object example, there is key and name here. Okay, but I just wanted simply to use them before doing anything else. Okay, just like if I want to use I don't want to do something like console.log object example dot and console dot log object example dot name. If I don't want to do something like this, so it will give you the name value, and so that's okay, that will be the thing. But if I don't want to do something like this, I just wanted to print one will be key and another will be name. So to do that, I can simply destructure the object. Okay, so to destructure the object, it is easy, just like creating a new variable. I'll be using constant, then nothing for now, and then I'll be using object example. Okay, so here I will be using and something like this curly braces, and I will be defining the keys of the object. Okay, so just like giving n curly braces and then defining the key, that will be key and another will be name. So if I do something like that, then I can easily access the key value pair of any objects. Okay, so it is same as objects.key and objects.name. Also I can say key as keys. Okay, as keys, so it will not understand what to mean by key. Okay, it will give us an error. So because I have imported keys as keys, okay, KYS keys. Okay, so it is used to destructure the objects and also use it in simple manner. Okay, so it is mostly followed in React, so you should learn about this a lot. Okay, so this is the simple basic JavaScript you should know before starting working in react js. Okay. If you have any further queries, please leave me a comment. And if you want to learn anything regarding this react and another javascript, please give me some topic. I will provide a appropriate example or appropriate explanation on that particular topic. Okay. Till then, happy coding. See you. Bye bye.